And as the curtains come down on the Delhi dangle, as voting for the assembly polls has concluded, people have sealed the fate of the three main parties, which are battling it out in the high-stakes contest. As per the latest poll panel update, Delhi has recorded the overall voter turnout at 57.89%. But mind you, this is the turnout at 5 p.m. this evening. The final numbers could well be above this, and there are, of course, fears about whether this will actually be a record-setting number as well in terms of the final turnout. We'll wait for that final number from the Election Commission. But the big question is, will Aam Aadmi Party, which has been in power in Delhi for a decade, sweep Delhi again or not? Will it end, in fact, the 27-year drought of the BJP in the national capital, or will the Congress party, which has been reduced to a minor player in Delhi over the years, bring a surprise? Let's quickly take a look at what the poll of polls say, and then we'll in fact bring it down to you and analyze to you what really has taken place as far as this entire election is concerned. Let's see how the political parties have in fact fared. This is the numbers as far as the JVC poll is concerned. JVC is here with us in the studio. We'll be breaking that down as well. The BJP 39 to 45, Aam Aadmi Party at 22 to 31, Congress at 0 to 2. And others here at 1. The only poll that is giving the others 1. I assume that is the MIM or some others. Let's quickly get in, of course, which parties are there from JVC in a bit. Matriz 35 to 40 for the BJP, Aam Aadmi Party 32 to 37, Congress at 1 here, others at 0. People's Insight giving a 40 to 44 number. Aam Aadmi Party 25 to 29, 1 for the Congress here. People's Pulse, and this is perhaps the highest tally given to BJP by any survey, 51 to 60. So if we aggregate that, it's around 55 seats that they're giving to the BJP in the 70-member assembly. 10 to 19, Aam Aadmi Party, Congress here at 0. Chanakya Strategies gives 39 to 44, Aam Aadmi Party at 25 to 28. 2 to 3 for the Congress party, the highest number for the Congress party yet. P-Mark gives 39 to 49 for BJP, Aam Aadmi Party at 21 to 31, 1 for the Congress. Poll Diary 42 to 50 for BJP, and Aam Aadmi Party 18 to 25, 2 for the Congress here as well. DV Research says 36 to 44 for BJP and allies. Aam Aadmi Party 26 to 34, 0 for the Congress. Mindbrink says 21 to 25 for the BJP. This is the only one in the survey, the only two in the survey, in fact, which is giving 44 to 49 for the Aam Aadmi Party, 1 for Congress here, and 1 in the next one as well, which is We Preside. This one too says 18 to 23 for the BJP and 46 to 52 for the Aam Aadmi Party. The aggregate, the poll of polls, is 36 to 42 for the BJP, 27 to 33 for the Aam Aadmi Party. It still appears to be a fairly close contest if you take the aggregate of the poll of polls. But let's quickly take a look at some of the reactions that are coming into this.
देखिए, एक बात तय है कि दिल्ली में कमल खिल रहा है, दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बन रही है। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी पूरे कॉन्फिडेंट है कि वो हार रहे हैं।
2025 में भी पहले के हिसाब से हमारी सीटें कम दिखाई जा रही हैं। मुझे लगता है कि आम आदमी पार्टी को एग्जिट पोल हमेशा कम आंकते रहे हैं। बड़े बहुमत से, मामूली बहुमत नहीं कह रहा, एक बड़े बहुमत से आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार बनने वाली है और ये तमाम एग्जिट पोल जो है गलत साबित है।
I'm just assuming that your numbers are correct. I don't want to argue. Either way, we'll come to know the reality on the 8th. But all I'm saying is that we've obviously, I believe that we've kind of made a strong comeback in many areas.
Let's go, in fact, now to our guests. As we introduce the panel, with us is Dr. Ajay Alok, national spokesperson of the BJP. With us here in the studio is Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, JVC Sriram, of course, political commentator, and whose poll, of course, is one of those that we have featured. With us also is Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst. Sabha Naqvi is a senior journalist joining us. And Dr. Nimi Rastogi is a spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party joining us. Let's quickly now go across to Pravesh Verma, one of the big faces in this Delhi dangle, because in the prestigious New Delhi seat, he has been taking on not just Sandeep Dixit, but also Arvind Kejriwal himself, former Chief Minister, and the biggest face naturally of the Aam Aadmi Party. Pravesh, let me begin by asking you, were you surprised with the projections of these exit polls today, or was it something that was on expected lines for you?
नहीं, मुझे लगता है कि इस बार दिल्ली के लोगों ने बदलाव के लिए वोट किया है और दिल्ली में बीजेपी की सरकार बनेगी और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि मोदी जी के साथ में मिलकर चलने वाली सरकार बन रही है।
और जहां तक की वोट बैंक्स है, जहां जो आम आदमी पार्टी के वोट बैंक्स माने जाते हैं, जैसे कि चाहे हम दलित्स की बात करें या पूर्वांचली वोट्स की बात करें, इसको बीजेपी ने आम आदमी पार्टी की तरफ से लेके, हाउ डिड यू मैनेज टू वू देम टुवर्ड्स द बीजेपी? व्हाट वाज द स्ट्रैटेजी देयर?
See, it was not very tough job because Aam Aadmi Party or Arvind Kejriwal or his government has done nothing for them in last 11 years. तो उनको समझ आता है कि अभी उन्होंने उनको 3 बार चांस दिया तो उनको कुछ नहीं मिला, ना उनको जॉब मिली ना उनको डेवलपमेंट मिली, तो इसलिए उन्होंने सभी लोगों ने इस बार बीजेपी को चूज किया कि वो एक अच्छी सरकार बनाएंगे जो बिना झगड़े के, बिना कारण के, बिना किसी माहौल को खराब करे अच्छी सरकार चाहिए, और इस बार लोगों ने डेवलपमेंट के लिए वोट किया है।
कई लोगों का ये मानना है प्रवेश कि मिडिल क्लास का इस पूरे चुनाव में बहुत बड़ा और बहुत अहम रोल रहा है। हाउ डू यू लुक एट एस्पेक्ट्स एंड अनाउंसमेंट्स सच एज टैक्स कट्स इन द यूनियन बजट इंपैक्टिंग ऑन द मिडिल क्लास वोटर इन दिल्ली?
देखिए, कहते हैं ना कि जब कोई काम होता है तो सारा सृष्टि आपके साथ में लग जाती है, तो सारे फैक्टर्स इसमें रोल प्ले किए हैं। तो कोई एक फैक्टर की मैं बात नहीं मानता हूं, सारे फैक्टर्स ही, क्योंकि इस बार सरकार बननी थी, भगवान चाहते थे कि बीजेपी की सरकार बने, तो सारे फैक्टर्स एक के साथ में जुड़ते चले गए। तो चाहे वो 8 पे कमीशन का फैक्टर हो, चाहे वो 12 लाख पे टैक्स फ्री का मामला हो, और जो भी हमने सोशल वेलफेयर स्कीम्स के लिए हमने अनाउंसमेंट करी है पार्टी ने, तो ये सारी बातें हैं।
और आम आदमी पार्टी ने आप पे आरोप लगाया है पैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने का दिल्ली इलेक्शंस के लीड अप में। साथ ही में वी हैव सीन टुडे हाउ दे हैव मेड सिमिलर एलिगेशंस दैट इवन बीजेपी हैज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड कैश टू इन्फ्लुएंस इलेक्शंस एंड वोटर्स इन डिफरेंट कंस्टिट्यूएंसीज। हाउ डू यू रिस्पॉन्ड टू दीज चार्जेस?
देखिए, लास्ट जो अपना 2 मंथ्स का कैंपेन था आम आदमी पार्टी का, उसमें एक वर्ड था मिसिंग था, वो था डेवलपमेंट का। और उन्होंने 11 साल में क्या काम किया वो कहीं पर भी पिक्चर नहीं दिख रही थी, कहीं उसका वीडियो नहीं था, कहीं पे उसको दिखाया नहीं गया कि उन्होंने लास्ट जो उनका रिपोर्ट कार्ड था वो उन्होंने नहीं दिखाया, केवल वो आगे के प्रॉमिस करते गए। तो वो अपना दिल्ली की जनता ने देखा कि जिस अपना सरकार को उन्होंने 3 बार चुना वो केवल प्रॉमिस ही कर रही है, वो कोई काम नहीं करके दिखा रही है। तो इसलिए ये बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर था और दिल्ली की जनता अपना मन बना चुकी थी इस बार।
और दिल्ली में कहीं ना कहीं दिल्ली बीजेपी में एक जो प्रॉब्लम रही है वो लीडरशिप का इशू है। कई लीडर्स आए हैं, कई लीडर्स गए हैं। चुनाव के बाद हाउ आर वी गोइंग टू लुक एट दिस इशू पैनिंग आउट?
See, that decision will be taken by our top party leadership. 8 तारीख के बाद में विधायक दल बैठेगा, जितने एमएलए चुन के आएंगे तो वही डिसाइड करेंगे कि कौन लीडर होगा इस पार्टी में। आपको मालूम है कि कोई अपना वन मैन पार्टी नहीं है।
But Pravesh, are you also an aspirant for the top job in Delhi if the BJP is successful?
See, I think your question is right, but you are asking to the wrong person. और मैं तो नहीं बोल सकता कि क्या होगा, जो भी पार्टी डिसाइड करेगी।
जी, thank you so much for joining us, Pravesh Verma. Of course, the man who's taken on Arvind Kejriwal. Will it be successful or will he be successful at the hustings ultimately or not? Nevertheless, it's been a very interesting and a very close fight that we've seen in the national capital. Thanks so much for joining us, Pravesh Verma, with that. And let's quickly now take this across to one of the first points that we are discussing in JVC's poll. And JVC, you can join me here on the screen. This is the first point that we're talking about. If you look at the difference between the male voters and the female voters, for the Aam Aadmi Party, it's at 42%. For male voters, 47.5% as far as female voters are concerned. BJP at 48% and 45%, Congress at 8% and 5%, others at 2 and 1.5%. JVC, this is very significant because in past elections, we've seen in fact from 2015-2020, how the female votes had surged drastically. What was that on the account of? Was it the freebies, the education, healthcare, free power, or was there other factors at play? And what constitutes the decline to 46% in this election?
See, as far as female voters are concerned, even water is a problem for the female voters. Even in the sanitation, which we see in the JJ clusters, is a problem for the female voters. But still, there is a tendency of fascination towards Aam Aadmi Party, even amongst middle-class female voters in Delhi city. So that is the reason why they're taking a 2% lead. So as far as male voters are concerned, even amongst the lower segments or in the clusters or everywhere, you see that male voters are rooting more for BJP than for Aam Aadmi Party.
Okay.
And Delhi is the only state or one of the few states where male voters outnumber female voters by more than almost 2 lakhs.
Okay.
That's
Let me quickly get a question from the two female panelists, at least on this. Dr. Nimi Rastogi, spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party. Dr. Nimi Rastogi, do you agree with this perception that the female vote has somewhere slipped away from the Aam Aadmi Party? Dr. Nimi Rastogi?
Not in the very least. Actually, it's on the contrary. More and more females are liking the way their budget is being held by Arvind Kejriwal's policies. You know, as much as 25 to 35,000 rupees per month is saved, and more women are going out and working because there is no fee. The bus ticket is free, and their budget is held by free electricity, free water. Their children are studying in top-class schools without paying even a single penny, and they don't have to shell out any money for
Okay, Ajay Alok, let me bring in Ajay Alok. One by one, please. Ajay Alok, would you like to respond to that? The female vote is intact, but one thing that is interesting, Ajay Alok, is that even now, in terms of percentage terms, the BJP still gets more male voters than female voters, and the skew is a little more towards the female voters when it comes to the Aam Aadmi Party, though in real percentage terms, it may have dropped by somewhere in the ballpark of about 12 to 15%.
Yes.
Ajay Alok.
Well, with all due respect to the exit polls, whether we are winning or whether we are losing, I personally do not believe in it. But I give them proper respect because after a lot of scientific work and research, they have come up with these numbers. Well, this number, what does it reflect? It just reflects us that where we are heading for the results. And it has been proved wrong at multiple times. So let's not get serious about it. Now, what was this poll about in Delhi? The people were agitated. Ye akrosh ka vote hai. The kind of living in clusters in Jhuggi Jhopri, the kind of sewer line, the kind of water you are getting. You are talking of free Bijli. People are being charged hefty electricity bills and the water bills, and they themselves in their manifesto, the Aam Aadmi Party, they said that when the government will be formed, we will reduce the bill to zero. While still they were in the power and there were no model code of conduct imposed. So the duplicity, there's two kinds of politics.
Okay.
One is politics of delivery and one is politics of false hopes and false promises.
Okay.
Now, what we have done as a BJP in all the states where we have ruled or at the national level, we have always done the politics of delivery. There is no politics of false hopes.
Okay.
And
Politics of delivery versus politics of falsehood. That's an important point you're making. Sabha, you want to come in on this aspect of female voters. What do you think is driving the minds of these voters? What do these numbers show?
Obviously, wait for the. We've seen
If these are true,
we've seen a very interesting divergence between male and female voters over some elections. We saw it in Bengal. We saw it. More women were voting for Mamata Banerjee and more men were voting for BJP. We saw it in Maharashtra. You know.
More women voting for Congress.
Yeah, Karnataka. Maharashtra.
Because of the
Karnataka. Well, I'm talking. I remember the Bengal data in particular because that was a fierce battle with the BJP, and the women swung it for Didi at that time. True. So we have to wait for this result to be final. But I'll just say a few things that I think one of the things we have just learned. I learned this, that Delhi proportionally has much less women than men. And it's a serious difference, demographic difference, which is not the case in Bengal, not the case in Maharashtra. And so that is one factor to bring it in. The second point is women, which I also on the ground, I found women much more inclined because they were gaining from the bus travel. Plus, there is a, whatever this, we have crossed the time. There are some schools which are phenomenally good that the AAP has created.
Okay.
If their kids were going anywhere near that school, they were voters. And we have to accept that whatever AAP, victory or defeat, their vote percentage is not going to go under 40%.
Education has been a big factor. Tessie,
Can I just finish my point?
Yeah,
their vote is going to be 40%. A lot of it is going to be built on women, services delivery. The problem that men pointed out, even from the poorer sections of society, is that can AAP, with the changes in the services law, can they still deliver?
Okay. Can they still deliver?
Can they still
very quick
deliver?
response. Tessie.
I
Then
think
move on to the
BBC
next
would have
point.
also found that.
Okay. Tessie.
Do they have
Tessie, please,
powers?
Tessie,
Huh?
yeah.
The Aam Aadmi Party has not delivered in Delhi. It is a nice media talking point over wine and cheese, otherwise in five-star dining rooms. That looks in the Aam Aadmi Party's kids are going to phenomenal schools. If you ask the spokesperson to for any of the promises made, they haven't. And the fact that the ex-chief minister resorted in panic to a murder attempt on him, to a genocide attempt in Delhi. JVC, how many elections have you called in, Madhav? When have you heard genocide in a state? That the chief minister to resort to that shows AAP is desperate.
Okay.
I'm not saying they don't have the women's support. Of course they have the women's support. But slowly that is withering, and that was a desperate BJP. I dare say Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji may not just win his seat.
Okay. Let's move on to the next point.
One more thing to be added is,
Yeah.
BJP has also matched 2,500 they're going to give to women. So that is also needs to be factored in.
And AAP did not give it in Punjab.
Yeah, I was not given in Punjab, and they should have given it in Delhi also.
So all those track records are also. Let's move on to the next quick point that we are debating over here. And this is where we go down community-wise. We can quickly bring up the next set of graphics that we are debating. If I can request our PCR team to bring this out. This is how various social groups have voted. And we're going to discuss this point by point, because the first factor is the general group. As per, in fact, and this is attributed to JVC, not your survey, but the Matrice poll.
Yeah.
And the Matrice poll says that in the general category, Aam Aadmi Party at 36%, BJP at 52%, Congress at 3, others at 9, OBC 47% Aam Aadmi Party, 43% BJP, Congress at 5, and others at 5% as well. SC 46% Aam Aadmi Party, 42% BJP. Very, very interesting over here. 4% Congress and 8% others. Muslim vote 67% Aam Aadmi Party, BJP at 11, 9% Congress and 13 others. Very, very interesting. All right, let's go one by one. Let's go one by one. Let's go one by one.
So funny. Muslim vote, one must laugh at this, because the Congress began its campaign in Seelampur,
Yes,
and which is a Muslim-dominated seat. And so, if this is true, then we are seeing that the Congress in the community which it expects is going to revive it. But there is some good feeling towards the Congress.
But there can be a strategic vote also, because you've seen that happen in other states in the past.
I know,
Voting
but
for a
we are
regional
saying
party.
that more are voting for BJP and for AIMM than for Congress. That's what this data.
You agree with this now, Dr. Raghunathan?
It is true.
I think as far as the Muslim community is concerned, and the figures you have, as you correctly say, Muslims have traditionally voted very tactically to defeat the BJP. So I think they're very conscious of not splitting the vote, and that is possibly the reasons why Congress has got less than, as it shows, BJP. But the fact of the matter is that between AAP and the BJP, if you look at other categories, especially the OBC and the SCs, it is who has been able to provide welfare most. Now, it is, if there is one party that comes closest to BJP in providing welfare to the OBCs and to the deprived communities, it is Aam Aadmi Party, because if you look at the migrant workers, if you look at the JJ clusters, if you look at traditionally the AAP voter base, they have been provided a lot of
targeted
freebies.
approach.
But
It's
there
a targeted
is,
approach.
10 seconds I like to take, and I like you to, take 1 second, take it to the BJP politicians. Very simple question. Please identify just one freebie that AAP is giving that you are not.
Okay.
One.
You want to put that question across to
Just
Ajay
one.
Alok? I'll come to you. Just a minute. Ajay Alok. It's a direct question to Ajay Alok, actually. Ajay Alok, we want to take that question to Dr. Raghunathan. One of the freebies that AAP has given that you have not.
Well, it's the question, not a question of, again, I said it's a politics of delivery and a politics of false promises. Whatever we have promised, we are going to deliver that. And there
It's also about perception. It's a fair question, because
your
many believe that in an election it's
credibility
about
of the
what
Prime
you
Minister
promise and what people actually buy in terms of that promise itself.
Exactly. So what we have promised, we are going to deliver, and people do trust us.
Okay.
And you
Okay.
keep on calling
He's not
them
biting your
freebies,
bait.
but look at the vision, and look at the governance. What we are going to deliver.
Okay. That's the point we've covered. But Tessie,
the problem-
what has happened to the Congress over here? Completely, the key vote banks, 9% of the Muslim vote. Mr. Rahul Gandhi was out there campaigning in Seelampur and several key seats. But that's it.
Vietnam.
So the issue out here is, if the Congress has got less than the BJP, then there is something that the Congress will need to figure out, and especially with its minority organization that it runs. But more importantly, even with the SC vote now, which the AAP had got significantly last time, going 42%
That's where I'm coming to.
Yeah, going significantly to the BJP and not to the Congress. Maybe then the Congress needs to say the caste census.
Your Pasmanda community is voting for you are Pasmanda.
Yeah, but the fact is that is obviously they've gone with Aam Aadmi Party. MIM has played spoiler. The Congress is less than BJP, and they've now got the Dalit vote. So is the caste census topic working? Number one.
So
number two is a minority.
13% then the MIM vote.
But what
was
we
talking about? 13%? MIM. It's obviously few candidates, Tahir Hussain and a few others.
Yeah, two candidates of them.
But can two candidates get 13%?
No, it's not mine, so I cannot say.
It doesn't
So
add
it is
up
not
to
mine.
my
I cannot say.
mind.
What I can actually say is where I'm agreeing is the SC vote. What is very important to note is between 2020 and 2025, our spokespersons would deny this. Truth of the matter is Balmiki votes have moved lock, stock and barrel to Bharatiya Janata Party.
Why?
Now, because of the kind of welfare measures which the BJP has given to the Balmiki votes. Because you go to the Balmiki cluster next to that Balmiki temple, where Prime Minister started the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and you go and talk to the people there. Our politicians could not even enter there. But Parvesh Singh Verma had gone there 3 times. So what has happened is Valmiki votes, and Haryana was won because of Valmiki votes, BJP. So now the SC community should not be looked at as one monolithic community. They should be looked at, Jatavs are going to vote differently, Valmikis are going to vote differently, and Koli and Dobi and such communities are going to vote differently.
That's always been
and what used to happen in UP is now happening in Delhi.
Okay.
And this is the reason for the BJP's victory.
Okay, it's a splintering of the Dalit vote. I want to bring in the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, Dr. Nimi Rastogi. Dr. Nimi Rastogi, you agree with this analysis that the Dalit vote has actually split into several compartments, Valmikis voting differently, Jatavs and others voting differently, and that is where one of your key vote banks, the BJP appears to have breached. Dr. Nimi Rastogi.
Yeah. So I would save my breath and energy onto reacting to something which is yet a speculation and a small sample size survey. But I'm amazed at the hypocrisy and the double-facedness of Bharatiya Janata Party. They criticize the same thing that they later on copy themselves, and then they say something that they have not yet done. They say, yes, we will do it, and something that is showing results. You know, our efforts in healthcare, which is showing that we have improved primary healthcare, they are very smart to dismiss it. So, I mean, elections are over, but there is a bitter taste in my mouth when I think of BJP's double-facedness, and every trick up their sleeve they have used, including Pravesh Verma distributing cash and, you know, dividing people on caste, creed, religion, economic status. And, you know, like, what kind of politics are we setting up? What kind of example are we setting up? There's something called Kaam Ki Rajniti. Please stick to that. Please improve the lives of people in Delhi. Okay. Whatever comes with that.
Okay. One by one. Yeah, okay, one by one. Dr. Ranganathan, coming to each of you. Yeah, Dr. Ranganathan.
Yes, no, you know, the good doctor has said very good, Kaam Ki Rajniti. I just want a very simple question to be answered. Can you please tell me if Kejriwal is Aam Aadmi doctor?
Sorry?
Is Kejriwal Aam Aadmi?
Kejriwal is an engineer from IIT.
No, Aam Aadmi, he's asking. Is he a common man?
He is an Aam Aadmi.
Thank you. Now, when was the last time you heard an Aam Aadmi building?
He is a common man, his lifestyle, his choices.
Lifestyle?
His
Can I just...
lifestyle, his choices, his apparel,
Especially with this panel, yeah.
daily
Okay,
routine
Dr.
is
Ranganathan,
all-
the lifestyle is of an Aam Aadmi. Please,
Yes.
your response.
So,
Aam Aadmi on a golden commode.
So, Kejriwal is an Aam Aadmi. Why does an Aam Aadmi require a jacuzzi, a sauna and a golden commode?
Period.
Where is this Wagoner?
Yes, Dr. Nimi.
I will answer that. I will answer. The whole debate about this false narrative or Sheesh Mahal ends when we ourselves ask the media and BJP to come inside and show us where is the golden commode, where is the jacuzzi, where are the
You have the visuals of jacuzzi. Times Now has shown a 40-minute video.
Also to go inside.
Times Now broke it.
No.
Dr. Nimi, I will just say this much. I will just say this much.
False. Imaginary.
Madam, I will just say this much, that, you know, this is an issue that actually many believe began the decline of the Aam Aadmi Party in the national capital, because one of the halos around Mr. Kejriwal's head was that he is a person who is honest, who is clean, and who will not, in fact, when he in fact criticized Sheila Dikshit's few air conditioners in her residence. Tehseen Poonawalla, have we all forgotten that? Because Dr. Nimi seems to suggest he's an Aam Aadmi Party leading an ordinary lifestyle. Has that been a major factor in this election?
I think that has been, look, nobody would have had an issue because everybody does believe that the chief ministers of various states or the prime minister must have a reasonably comfortable residence. Nobody grudges that. The problem was Kejriwal ji's politics saying the
Come here, Dr. Me, please, one by one, yeah.
Yeah. The politics that Kejriwal ji did and promised, sometimes on his children, he will not take a government accommodation bungalow, he will not take security, he will not fly abroad, etc. That perception's been badly flushed down, no pun intended, out here. So I think that has been the problem. And you know, if you
I don't know about golden commode, but about the jacuzzi and sauna is...
Those things, yes, those things have been exposed by this very channel. And in fact, your reporter Bhavna, your colleague, was put in jail. The High Court came in 3. The Punjab police was used. Also, ma'am, if this was, if this was...
Where are they?
Ma'am, election is over. We can debate. We can have a reasonable debate. Please, let's go one by one. You have spoken, let others also talk. You can respond to him. Quickly,
and lastly, so the fact that Ma'am, please.
Dr. Nimi, I will give you a turn, ma'am. Please, let's go one by one. Other panelists are speaking. I'll give you a turn to respond to them. Please.
Also, one of the major promises Kejriwal ji said is he doesn't need security. The actual fight with Punjab police was he needed additional security despite being a Z+ security protectee. Now, that is the perception that's hit the common man. And I think some of those votes that you've seen shifted have been from that, especially the SC vote, etc., because they saw him as a hope, a beacon of hope.
Okay, so has the perception that the leader of the Aam Aadmi Party is perhaps not so armed, has that hurt you, Dr. Nimi?
Not at all. And, you know, I still say with a lot of conviction that we are winning this election with 55+ seats. And exit polls have never had good chemistry with us. So the history is testimony to that. You know, even in 2013, they said they'll get 8 seats. We got 28. In 2015, they said we'll get 45. We got 67. In 2020, they said they'll get around 48. And we got 62. So wait and watch. 8th is just round the clock.
Okay.
So, I mean, just...
All right. We'll take your argument for the moment, but let's quickly shift focus to the next set of data that we're discussing at this point of time. And this is the big one. This is the share of the Purvanchali votes. And let's try and explain this, because this is as per JVC's poll. JVC, explain this. This is the total vote share of the BJP versus the Aam Aadmi Party. It's in the range of 44.65 to 46.65. The Aam Aadmi Party in the range of 44.10 to 46.10. But this is the Purvanchali vote, and in terms of percentage terms, it appears that the BJP has got 12.60 to 13.20 as per your survey, and 10.90 only to the Aam Aadmi Party and 11.20. What does this really mean? Does this mean that the BJP has been able to attract a larger share of the Purvanchali vote necessarily?
How many rallies did Yogi do? Why was Yogi Adityanath brought into the picture, the campaign? I have videos where they said, whom do you want to be a chief minister? We want somebody like Yogi Adityanath. This was something which came out from the Purvanchal voters. And again, Purvanchal voters have also been affected by the same way as what other voters have been affected. So, and last time also, if you look at it, the Purvanchal voters, between Purvanchal voters and voting for AAP and BJP, the gap was very narrow. Last time, they gained because Manoj Tiwari was the CM candidate.
Right.
This time, it was not Manoj Tiwari, but the point was more of Yogi Adityanath, more of wooing all those people.
He was not announced as CM candidate.
He was perceived as, Manoj Tiwari was perceived
not necessarily, because they've had Viren Sachdeva as the party chief.
No, not this time. Not this time I'm talking about. I'm talking about 2020.
Okay.
I'm talking about 2020. I'm talking about 2020.
He was the head of the party at that point.
Head of the party. Yeah. He was the head of the party. So what happened? So as a result of which Purvanchal voters have actually not moved big way, but the point was they retained, BJP retained, and a section of the anger voters have moved towards BJP.
Okay, Ajay Alok, you agree with that perception? This is what has worked, Yogi Adityanath's campaign, and also, of course, the kind of issues that have worked on ground in terms of the perception. You think this is what has led to this significant shift, if this is indeed true?
And also COVID.
See, they started, the Purvanchali voters' migration started since Corona days, when lakhs of Purvanchali were thrown out at the Anand Vihar terminal, and people have, when I say that this is a vote for agitation, it was a Akrosh ka vote tha, or Nautanki dekhne ka vote tha. Now I'll show you a Nautanki right on the screen, on your screen guys. Election Commission, this election has very much clearly said that people above 80 or disabled people can vote from their house. They need not come to the booth. And if they want to come to the booth, they can use the car and come to the booth. But what your pictures are showing, Arvind Kejriwal is carrying his parents, who are able to walk nicely, on a wheelchair. What is this? This is the Nautanki that people now understand. Optics cannot work every time. You don't perform, you always do Nautanki. This is Nautanki today he did. And it was very much visible.
Okay,
so this thing of people are now not going to take it.
I'll let the AAP spokesperson respond to you on that.
Accordingly, you have to deliver your promises.
Dr. Nimi, Dr. Nimi, would you like to respond to the BJP spokesperson?
Whatever he said is in a very bad taste. Elderlies have their own will. If they want to go out, they will go out and have.
Very bad taste. What he is doing? He could have taken them by car. He could have asked the Election Commission to come and take their vote from home.
It is distasteful. It is distasteful. I tell you what, the
Why
bad
is giving them
optics
pain on taking them on wheelchair? If they are so much disabled.
Optics with political gain.
No, this is Nautanki. This is sheer Nautanki. Nothing else.
Prime Minister Modi taking a dip exactly on the day when Delhi is going to poll. That is optics. That is something that is, supposed
now you are hurting the sentiments of Hindus.
Not something like
now you are questioning the
very
authenticity of Kumbh.
Ajay,
now you are very much questioning the authenticity of Kumbh.
Sorry,
now she's questioning the authenticity of Kumbh Mela and hurting the sentiments of millions.
Yes, I am.
This is what?
I am.
This is the same Arvind Kejriwal who said, "Inki dadi ne mana kiya tha."
Okay, let me get my panelist in the studio on this politics of optics. Tehseen Poonawala.
This is typically what the election's been about. Neither of them, both of them have gone on a different tangent and not. How does the common man of Delhi care about any of these issues? They've gone on a completely different tangent and both of them have gone. The fact of the matter is neither the Aam Aadmi Party nor the BJP have given anything to Delhi, and it's unfortunate that the people of Delhi, the Congress should have done slightly more, and I think should have been a little bit more of a player in this. But one last thing, if the Aam Aadmi Party does lose this election that JVC is showing, the Punjab government will fall within 6 months.
Big one. That's a big one. The perception of Aam Aadmi Party, particularly in poor taste perhaps, but ultimately it boils down to the politics of optics.
See, somebody who is a recipient of a promise looks at the hard facts. Now, for about 8 of those 10 years, possibly all 10, there is a legit BJP and the Lieutenant Governor and the powers that be, the centre, are stopping us from doing so. So, the control experiment is let you have a state government where you have total control, which is what they have in Punjab for 2.5 years. Now, 1 second, JV. Have they, the voters of Delhi have seen not a single promise that AAP made in Punjab has been delivered, starting from 1,000 rupees to every woman per month. Now, they haven't done it for 3 years. The voters of Delhi are seeing that. That, when there was no Modi, when there was no LG to disturb you and, kind of hinder your delivering of promises, you haven't delivered.
Okay.
You promised 16,000 Mohalla clinics.
Sabha, I want you to comment on this. I want Sabha to respond on this point because, somewhere what's happening in Punjab, does it also have an impact on Delhi because it's the same political party and not too far apart geographically?
A defeat for Arvind Kejriwal or let's say a defeat for AAP, hypothetically, let's believe the polls and let's say Kejriwal loses his seat, it's a very close call in that seat. Let's say that happens. Of course, it affects the psychology of AAP. However, as someone who's covered politics for 3 years, the next Punjab elections are due in 2026. You know, Madhav, the decimation that the Congress has taken in that state. There is no leadership left. There is no BJP. You know what has happened to the Akali Dal. At this point, I do not see the government falling But yes, hypothetically, can the Congress rebuild in Punjab? Of course they can. They were the default. Captain Amrinder ruled for so many years, but he's now part of the BJP. And the BJP, let me finish. So I think it's a bit hasty to presume that the Punjab government is going to go overnight. But yes, it's a psychological blow because Arvind Kejriwal to Aam Aadmi Party is almost like Narendra Modi currently.
So that's wishful thinking. You're decimated in Punjab. It's not going to. Congress is not going to come back. That's what she says.
I never use the word overnight, but what will happen is
it's not that easy, is what she's saying. But I want to say
that's fair, and that I respect that analysis. But I never said overnight. But what will happen is Arvind Kejriwal ji will want to be chief minister at some point. He will want to be. He will want to have certain amount of control. You will see problems in the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab. There already are internal fights in them. You will see the collapse, and the collapse will come at a much faster pace within the next 6 months. You may even see the government falling in the party collapsing. It will happen.
All right, let's get our spokesperson on that.
Can I reply to that? I mean, that is really unrealistic because first of all, Punjab has a 58% Sikh population.
Nobody never had a non-Sikh.
They've never had. And so that one, and neither is the AAP insane.
Did I say Mr. Kejriwal's going there?
Since there's so much of discussion about AAP imminent collapse, I'm going to come to you, JVC. I want the AAP spokesperson to respond to this. We have an AAP spokesperson. Let the AAP speak for itself, please. Let them have their say. Is the AAP going to implode inside? Are we going to see massive changes take place, Dr. Nimi, if in case Delhi is lost? Because ultimately, it's about Kejriwal and his pride, his prestige, his image if Delhi loses. If AAP loses in Delhi, rather.
So I would call it BJP ke haseen sapne, which are never going to materialize, neither in Delhi nor in Punjab. Write it down. Don't be over exuberant to write epitaph for Delhi or Punjab, because our deep connection with people of Delhi and Punjab has superseded all kinds of rhetoric and politics and all, and we have really worked for people in Punjab and Delhi. So it is ridiculous. It is laughable when you say Punjab government will fall. It is coming out of the vicious minds of people who don't believe in the harmony and communal and equality. I'm very sorry, this disappoints
I mean, here is a pro-Congress person talking. This is, you know, there are people.
You're a bigot.
Okay. But ma'am, to be fair, this is not being said by the BJP. This is what the exit polls are saying. But JVC.
The problem with Kejriwal was he promised a Paris, London, Washington. And what he delivered was a Somalia. And that cannot be accepted by the people of Delhi. Simple. You go to Narela, you go to Bijwasan, you go to Pala.
Please do not be unkind to Somalia. Delhi is worse than Somalia right now.
Well, that's a bit uncharitable. That's a bit uncharitable.
I've been to Kenya. I've been to, not to Somalia. I've been to...
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a very interesting debate. Some hypothesis, of course, a lot of speculation perhaps. But are these exit polls going to be true or not? We'll find out only on counting day. Meanwhile, I'd like to thank our panelists, Dr. Ajay Alok, Dr. Anand Rathan, JVC Sriram, Tehseen Poonawala, Sabha Naqvi and Dr. Nimi Rastogi. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you.